Very much for the introduction, Fiyin. And I am so excited to be here with you guys. How are you feeling?
Great.
How are you feeling?
Good. Yes. Yes.
Because I love when people come together and collaborate, communicate, and teach each other, learn from each other. That's the whole reason why I started the African Professionals group on Facebook. If you're not in there, please join. There's lots of value going on in there. My name is Diacre. I've been in Canada for 14 years now, actually going to 15. And here is the agenda for today. I'm just going to talk about my story, and I'm going to talk about what I've learned over the years. And we're going to talk a bit about mindset, passion, and showing up. Is everybody okay with that?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Love it. So, question for you now is, where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Sorry. That's a very good question.
Right.
In 5 years' time, at that time in my life, I want to own my own business and already have my network and done my MBA and just graduate into that stage of empowering my kids to be better people and just transitioning into that next phase of my life. That's where I see myself.
That's right. What about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I would like to have a own business as well.
Yeah.
I kind of been invited by Fiyin today.
Yeah.
She's contagious. Positive vibes.
All right. Yeah.
I love the fashion industry and connect with politics.
That's right. That's right. Cool. What about you, Victor? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Possibly law school. I prefer to focus more on business law, and down the line, that's kind of what I have in mind at the moment, and what I'm planning.
That's right. That's right. I could go around in this room and I could ask everybody where they see themselves in 5 years, and they could tell me their dreams and passions and what they want to accomplish, but you never really know until you get there, right? So that's what I'm about to talk about today. And before I do that, can I share with you guys my story? Yeah? I'm from Burundi. I'm not sure if you can see it on the map, but it's a very tiny country in Central East Africa. And that little country has over 8 million people. And what I've learned so far is that country has huge potential. But I'll tell you, my background is that I started there. When I was about 8 years old, life was going great. My family was happy, we were happy, my parents and my sister, we were living the life. It was good. But then something happened. The war broke out. We had a civil war. And then we had to move to Kenya. It was tough. It was really tough because war brings out the worst in everybody.
Yeah.
Right? And honestly, I couldn't wish it on anybody, but it was a really, really tough time for not just my parents, but for myself too. Although I don't remember much, I remember it was a bad time. I don't want to go into the gruesome details, but we lived in Kenya for about 10 years, and it wasn't stable. We were living as refugees, and the refugees were not as welcome, and it was really tough for my parents to establish themselves and get something going. So they had to work for the church down there that was actually being sponsored by the United Methodist Church, and it was really tough still. Life was still not safe. And I came to Canada. It was fun. I loved it. Finally, we had made it. It was safe. I went to university, took my computer science and entrepreneurship. I mean, it was a great time. I would be like, wow, I've made it to Canada. This is it. But how many people know that when you're like, this is it, you're like, wait a minute, this is not it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And that was me. That was me. So I started working for different companies. I worked for the university, I worked for Association of Realtors, and something just wasn't right. I could feel the tugging, the battle I had to face every Monday morning just thinking about waking up. It's like, do I really want to go to this work again? Sometimes, the odd times I would call in sick. I'd be like, I can't make it, guys. Right? Because I wasn't fulfilled. There was something in me that was screaming to get out, to do something about it. You know, I was lacking fulfillment. And that's when I hit a turning point. I said, why is this feeling coming to me? And what can I do about it? So I started doing research and looking around. And when I was working for these companies, I was doing different, making websites, doing marketing for these companies. And I was like, wait a minute. Why can't I just go help other people do the same thing instead of helping the big guy here, right? So that was me. I just felt, I was like, I can do this. But I had to get to that point where I was like, hey, enough is enough. Let me step out of my comfort zone and do something about this. And that's what I did. So I started Valeria Collective Marketing. Why I call it Valeria? You can ask my wife. She's the one who came up with the name. But I looked up the name and it actually means strong in Latin or something like that. And we do all kinds of things. We do websites, we do social media, we do blogs, we do branding and design and advertising and SEO. All those things that we came up with were because I wanted to help the small guy. If Baba is going to start a business, he's gonna need all these services. All of them. If he misses even one of them, his business is not going to thrive as he would like. I really like talking to people and helping them. And I really like finding out how we can come together and build something that's going to last. Those services are crucial and essential for any business, whether you're small or big, especially when you're small. Because when you're a small business, you're a one-man show, and basically you're just running around not knowing what to do next. I'm not going to go into details about all these services, but if you need any of those, I can give you my card and we can talk later. But websites, social media, blogs, branding, design, consulting, advertising, putting the fuel on the fire, and then SEO is key to any business success. So that's what I do. So I've been doing this for over a while now, and I've been in this building, as Fiyin said, for a while, and there's a few things I've learned. I've come to a point where this entrepreneurship is too glamorized, I would say. And that's why I actually started a podcast. I was like, why is entrepreneurship so hard, yet lots of people are making it? How are they making it? I need to know their secrets, because that's the only way you're going to thrive. And if you haven't listened to my podcast, it's called 3 Keys with Diacre. check it out. It's on iTunes, Google, and Spotify. You would learn a lot from that. I interview a lot of people from the US, from Canada, local people, and they share their knowledge and they share how they can succeed. But for today, I'm going to talk about 3 things. First of all, mindset. What do I mean by mindset? Who knows what mindset means here?
The state of your mind to
That's right. That's right. State of your mind. Do you think you will be successful with a mindset that's always negative?
No.
Do you think you will be successful with a mindset that's always worried about something? Do you think you will be successful if your mindset is not clear? You can't. So that's what I've discovered. Your mindset is key to your success. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. What matters is what's in here. That's how people are succeeding these days. They fight the battle in here, and then everything else comes out. So once you decide to become an entrepreneur, you have to decide that your mindset is always going to be on point. You have to think positive thoughts. You have to be always encouraging yourself. You have to do positive affirmations. You will get crazy clients that tell you different things and you'll be like, wait a minute, what am I doing here? But if you have that mindset, it is going to change everything. So work on your mindset. There's a few things you can do to do that. And that's always to, for example, meditation in the morning. Always being grateful. Always looking on the positive side. Those are just some of the things that you can try and do that will help your mindset. The second thing I've noticed is that when you are an entrepreneur, you have to do something you really like. And that's called passion. If you don't like it, forget it. Just quit. Because if you're in it for the money, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get discouraged really quick, really fast. Because if somebody's telling you, hey, let's go over here, this is where the money is at, and you go there, but you don't have the skills or the passion for it, you're going to lose. So you have to love what you do. You have to be able to stay up all night just doing what you love. Right? And that's what I found. It's something that will keep you awake at night, even though you are stressed, even though you are overwhelmed, even though you are going crazy, you'll still like, wait a minute, I really like to do this. I really love doing this. And this is where you are going to thrive. If you're doing something you're passionate about, nobody's going to stop you. Nobody is going to stop you. The third thing is to show up. What point is there to have a business and nobody knows about it? Right? You're not going to have anything. So showing up is key, and that's what I've learned over the years. If you don't show up, nobody's going to know who you are. If you don't show up, nobody's going to know how you can help them. If you don't show up, nobody is going to buy from you. Show up as if you're going to perform. Show up as if you're the next Michael Jackson.
Yes.
Show up as if you're the next Tony Robbins, even though you're not. Just show up, ready, prepared, and ready to serve your community and your people. So I'm just going to give you a few strategies before I can wrap it up of how you can show up. You need an online presence. Do we all agree?
Yes.
Sure.
Everybody has a phone. Everybody is on Instagram. Everybody is on Facebook. So if you have a business and you don't show up online, what's going to happen? Exactly. People won't know. People will not know you. People will not care about you. And guess what? Might as well quit. Just go back home. Right? So you need a website. A website that is responsive, that can be viewed on any device, especially on cell phones these days. If you don't have a website that can be viewed on cell phones, that's going to be a tough market too, because who doesn't have a phone these days? Even kids have cell phones these days. You have to show up on Google. Get a Google listing. Know that people can find you. Know that people can contact you. Have your address on there. And make sure that you are getting reviews. And if you need help with stuff like that, I can definitely help you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is you need to find where your ideal clients are and go there. Is your ideal client at the farmer's market? Go there. Is your ideal client on Facebook? Go there. Is your ideal client on LinkedIn? Go there, show up, give some value, and you will see that your business will explode eventually. There's a few strategies, obviously. If you're doing business to consumer, Facebook and Instagram is good. If you're doing business to business, LinkedIn and Instagram is good. Twitter. But what's most viewed content online right now? Is it images or videos? Videos. Videos are killing it. That's why people are going on Facebook Live. That's why people are going on YouTube. That's why even Instagram recognized it and said, hey, let's start Instagram TV. It is taking over. If you don't have videos for your services, you're losing out. Videos. I forgot to mention in here that if you want to be known as an expert too, you should start a podcast, and that's what I did. Podcasts are listened to by professional business people while they're cooking or cleaning or driving, and it's a way to build an audience. While you're building an audience, it's going to be easier for you to sell to them. Right? The other thing is to advertise. Make sure you advertise if you have the money to do so. Put the fuel on the fire. When you advertise, people who don't know you will see you. They'll get to trust you better. They'll get to buy from you faster. If you advertise, you're going to crush it. Last point, fail fast, but fail often. I've noticed, and Fiyin was saying this, that I've studied a lot of things. And there's a good reason for that. It's because you never know what you want until you get there. You never know what you want until you've tried it out. If you don't try it, it's pointless, right? So do it often. Make sure you get there. The faster, the better. If you can find a product, try it, and say, oh, hey, this didn't work. But at least you tried it, and you learned something from it. And as an entrepreneur, it's always good to focus. Don't be distracted by a lot of things. Set your mind on one thing and go for it. Because as an entrepreneur, you can be doing a whole bunch of things. Working on your business, trying to advertise, trying to do blogs, blah, blah, blah. Focus. Do one thing and then let the expert in the industry take over the other part that you're not good at. Basically, focus on what you're good at. If you do that and you have people helping you, like the lady said, you will thrive. If you say, hey, I'm really good at making cookies, but I'm not good at advertising or finding people, why not find somebody who's good at that, and then they can help you sell more cookies? Always, always stay focused. That's my presentation for today.
Thank you.